The fire from last week is still burning. I finally found the fire extinguisher, and I lift it, ready to defeat the fire like the brave hero I am. But then I think, wait, there are a few pens I'd like to see perish in the fire. And just like that, I've gone from hero to villain. Here are the fountain pens I'd like to see burn for the insurance money. And yes, this is my supervillain origin story, so grab some popcorn. We're going right for the dollar signs and tossing in this Sailor limited edition 1911 large 4am fountain pen with an Architect ground zoom nib. The Architect grind I saved from the fire last week on my Pelican Ocean Swirl inspired me to go for the gold, 21 karat to be specific, with this pen. I have a 1911 large in tangerine that I love, and I love the name of this pen, 4am, it's so evocative. But alas, I fell for the internet hype of maxing out the line variation by putting the Architect grind onto a zoom nib. In the end, it's just not practical for me or how I use fountain pens, and so has been sitting in a drawer untouched for years, just waiting for a fire to break out. What's this? Am I feeling a bit of empathy for the insurance man after torching the 4am? This Koico Sport pen isn't worth all that much money. And if we're honest, my motivation here is less the remuneration and more just that I do not like this pen. The nib on it is terrible. I hate that it takes only cartridges or tiny finicky converters. And I think the clear plastic barrel feels cheap. Goodbye, terrible pen. Goodbye. This next one, I don't know much about, except that it's a Shaffer, and I got it when I thought I might want to get into vintage pens. Boy, was I wrong. I've never inked it. It's got this weird, old-timey filling system. It's old, and it's ugly, just like me. And there's only room for one old and ugly thing in my studio. Oh no, here's a Visconti Van Gogh Pollard Willows with a crappy fine nib. Burn! I have another Van Gogh pen that I like just fine. But this one I got from some sketchy man on eBay, and the nib has never been quite right, and I've just never done anything to fix it. Because I'm lazy? Because I want to have something to complain about? What are you, my therapist? Just let me set pens on fire without all this psychoanalysis, please. This is a woodshed pen. I can't remember the name of the material, perhaps because I've blocked it subconsciously from my memories. Okay, there's nothing terrible about this pen, and I'm glad that I actually checked before throwing it into the flames because it has a broad Franklin Kristoff Sig nib on it that I do not want to burn, even though I forgot I owned it, and it's been sitting on this pen for years. But this is one of those instances where the material you see online loses some of its glamour in real life. I'd rather have the money than the pen, insurance man. Next is a Franklin Kristoff Model 45. Nothing against Franklin Kristoff, I love all my other Franklin Kristoff pens, but this pen taught me that I am just not a fan of the number 5 nib, and so I will not be rescuing that nib before I toss the pen into the flames. Uh-oh, the Leonardo Memento Zero collaboration with Pen Chalet. It's very reminiscent of the Delta Dolce Vita Federico I saved from the flames last week. It even has the same pointless and hilarious blind cap. But this pen taught me that the black and orange combo just is not for me. It just screams, Halloween, into my face like a drunk ghost. And while I ain't afraid of no ghost, I am afraid that the money I spent on this pen is money I'd rather have back in my pocket. The Conklin All-American Yellowstone. Another pen where the writing experience just makes me hate an otherwise nice pen. I love a chubby pen. I love the weird color combo of this pen material. But I do not love to have to fight to get the ink out of the pen every time I go to use it. This kind of soured me on all Conklin pens, whether that's fair or not. I'm not here to be fair. I'm here to, sit in a chair and complain. Hashtag my life's purpose. Okay, this is a hard one, friends. The Sailor Mandarin Orangette from Bungbox. There is so much that I love about this pen. That subtle brown color with the orange, the little chocolate-dipped orange slice on the finial, the nib that says, ink tells more, the cap band that says, I wish you a lot of happiness, the transparent cap with a solid body. I love it all. And yet, into the fire. It's just too small for me, which is weird because I have really dainty hands. But it stops me from using it, And so it just sits there, taunting me with how pretty it is and how much I don't want to use it. And lastly, into the flames, this Pilot Decimo and Tea Marble. Just like the Mandarin Orangette, I love a lot about this pen. It's vintagey, it's stylish, it's got a great fine nib on it, but alas, I can't write properly with that dang clip where my fingers go. I paid to import this darling from Japan, and it's a great pen, but another one I'd rather have the cash for instead of a pretty pen that I can't use. Well, that's it. I'm off to the insurance office to file my claim? Is that how it works? What will I buy with this windfall of insurance riches? More pens, of course. Hopefully ones I don't want to see burn. See you next time. P.S. You are now all accomplices in insurance fraud. Thanks for watching.